Hi everyone, today I'm going to present my proposal, which is based on the professional practices I'm developing and explores gamified strategies that can support basic French learning among seventh grade students at Jose Manuel Restrepo School. It's a public school in Bogota. My project combines pedagogical innovation, student motivation, and foreign language learning. The problem I have identified is that seventh grade students who begin studying French A1 have difficulties with motivation, vocabulary retention, and confidence when encountering the language for the first time. Many of them have no previous experience with French, which make the learning process a little difficult, distant, and sometimes frustrating for them. This problem is relevant because motivation is a key factor in language acquisition, especially at beginner levels. If students lose motivation early on, they find it more difficult to develop the basic linguistic foundation they need. And the challenge then is to find methods that make learning French more engaging, meaningful, and enjoyable. My understanding of the problem comes from three main sources. First, classroom observation shows students' difficulties in understanding vocabulary and following activities in French. The second, initial diagnostic results reveal limited vocabulary knowledge and low confidence. And third, recent research supports these observations. For example, Pajaro and Rodello 2024 found that gamification helps A1 level students improve vocabulary, retention, and motivation. And Quiroga also highlights that gamification can increase academic performance when activities are well designed. Periañez Guerrero emphasized the importance of play in the learning process of children and adolescents. These studies confirm that motivation and engagement are essential in helping beginners overcome the initial challenge of learning French. And my research question is how can gamified strategies support basic French learning among seventh graders, students, and Jose Manuel Restrepo School? Based on previous studies and my observations, my hypothesis is if gamified strategies are implemented in A1 French classes, students will show greater motivation and better vocabulary acquisition compared to traditional approaches. In other words, I expect gamification to create a more dynamic learning environment that increases engagement and support linguistic progress. This proposal is closely related to both the current state of the art and theoretical foundations. From the current states of the art perspective, the three studies reviewed show that gamification first increases motivation, second improves participation, and enhances vocabulary learning. This directly aligns with the needs of my group of students. And this proposal is also based on the theoretical concepts such as gamification and the use of game elements in non-playful contexts, including points, badges, missions, and comments. Furthermore, it draws on the constructivist theory of Piaget and Vygotsky, who argued that learning occurs through interaction, exploration, and meaningful experience. Gamify activities such as challenges and collaborative tasks fit naturally into this framework. My study uses a mixed methods approach combining quantitative and qualitative data. The quantitative components include a diagnostic test, a post test, and a motivation questionnaire to measure vocabulary growth and changes in students' attitudes. The qualitative component uses classroom observation, teachers' note, and participation load. They understand how students experience gamified activities. A mixed method approach is ideal because gamification affects not only performance but also motivation, behavior, and emotions. By combining both types of data, the study captures a more comprehensive understanding of the learning process. I expect several positive educational impacts. First, an increase in students' motivation, confidence, obviously the participation in French. And the second, better vocabulary retention and more positive attitude toward learning of foreign language. And third, the creation of a gamified teaching sequence that can be used to future French A1 courses. In addition, the results may encourage the school to incorporate gamification into other subjects and inspire teachers training in active methodologies. Overall, the project aims to make learning French more enjoyable, more effective, and more in line with the students' interests and developmental needs. Thank you.